All right. It's my go-to right there.
I know.
Yeah.
You say it all the time. All right.
What's up, everyone? Good to be back here with you guys. Sorry. At first, I did want to say, sorry. I feel like a little not sick, but my
We're
throat.
both sick.
I think so. Yeah. It's just we were in Las Vegas this past weekend at a concert. And I don't know if it was just because it was very dry out there or something, but it was making my throat hurt. So my voice sounds a little weird today.
Yes.
But
Likewise, you might hear a little coughing here and there. We're both somewhat sick.
But I don't feel like feverish.
What's weird is last night I was feeling feverish, and then I had like sweats and chills last night and a headache, and then today I kind of just have like a tiny lingering headache.
Yeah.
I just feel tired. But Brian's throat has been hurting, and I feel like this happens whenever we go to Vegas and come back because it's the desert.
Yeah. Makes
super
sense,
dry. It was hot. We were around like so many other people, like dirt. It was a lot.
Yeah.
We had a great time though. We went to the Life is Beautiful festival. It was fun. I almost broke my neck headbanging. So that was fun.
If you want to see that, go follow our vlog channel and you'll see her headbanging.
I wasn't gonna put it in the
You should definitely put it.
Fine.
Yeah.
I've been struggling trying to edit it. There's just so much crazy. Like, we got to get better at being more organized when we're vlogging, because I'm trying to like get us to tell more of a story than to just like
film
just
have
randomly
footage,
and then it looks just like a random montage. Anyway.
Also,
this is episode 23. We need to do the intro.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Roll the intro.
Okay.
I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's still following or commenting. There's a ton of comments, and we were reading through some, but
we were reading them. We were reading them on the way to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, we got a few, like, cool, like, we'll respond. But, like, I get car sick if I'm, like, typing and anyway. And Brian's driving. And then we're like, oh, we'll just, and then time got the best of us because we were busy literally the entire weekend. And then, like, we came home and there was, like over 200 or 300 comments.
Yeah.
And we're like, holy crap. So we're
going to have to go through them.
I feel like we said this last episode.
We did go through a decent amount of the other ones.
We read about like maybe 70 of the comments, and we haven't read after that. So we're trying to catch up.
We'll go back and we'll reach out. We really appreciate
you guys. We appreciate it so
and
much.
We're glad to see that you guys enjoy us talking, because we do talk more than I think the other like reaction videos and stuff. Like,
we don't have friends, so you guys are our friends. You guys are the ones we're talking to.
Well, you're not completely wrong, but
yeah. So we're not talking throughout the whole day with people.
Yeah.
So this is like the most we actually do talk in a day, I would feel like.
And like we said before, we want you guys to be like subscribing, because you see us as like a podcast, more like us talking, or just random like what we're talking about and us and stuff. And also like for future too, if you guys drop comments below of like not just like something to react to, but just maybe like a topic you'd like to hear us talk about.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be
form, between us and stuff like that, like from American perspective or whatever.
It could just be anything.
Yeah, anything that like, you'd want to talk about.
I'll review your favorite TV show if you want. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Awesome. So we're gonna do the part 2. I saw there's a part 3. I don't think we're gonna do part 3.
Yeah, someone brought it to our attention. There actually might be a third part.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to do 3 parts.
Yeah.
I think 2 would be more than enough.
After that, we might go to another suggested video or just something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We're kind of just like, we're not winging it, but like we take it week by week, so we can kind of like actually have a genuine talk about it and not just have super planned, but still like at least plan a little bit.
Yeah, we plan like a week in advance. That's it. We're not planning for a month.
Yeah, because we don't want it to be super like robotic or
we also don't know if things come up, and you kind of don't want to have to like set those topics back. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna go too much into this, but shout out to all the women in Iran right now who are protesting, because that shit is brave. Like, that's one of the bravest things I've seen in my lifetime, at least.
I believe because a woman died in the police custody.
Yeah, the morality police, which is super ironic, because apparently it's totally fine to beat a woman to death, but when it comes to like a hijab, that's where we draw the line.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. I've gotten emotional a couple times, like, thinking about it, but it's like, I don't know. Like, those are things like that make me grateful to not have to live in a country like that. Yeah. Because,
I mean, yeah.
Like, forced religion is such a scary thing, you know? And
well, I feel like a lot of times it creates a horrible, like, divide in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I know most of the Middle East is divided based off, like, Christianity and Muslim, or Islam, but
because your cousins, when they're like, so she's Egyptian. Sorry, we didn't spend the last one.
I guess.
Sorry, I know.
I'm half Egyptian.
You're like more than half, right?
No, I'm just under half. My mom's whole family are from Egypt.
They're like pure Egyptian. Okay. Well, they're like from Egypt.
They're from. My mom, I think, was one of the last to migrate here from her family.
They deal with that over there. The division of Christianity and
there's
Muslim.
A lot of like Orthodox and
but they like kill each other in the streets for that stuff.
I'm not gonna sit here and speak on something I've not like been a part of myself, so I'm not 100% sure. I just know from stories from my family, my grandparents, there's a huge divide, and I know a lot of the war that goes on in the Middle East is religion based. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and go on and on about it, because we are very like, Brian and I are very open-minded. Like, we're very like, believe what you want to believe as long as you're not hurting anyone. But we know that's just not the reality for other parts of the world, and it's unfortunate. You know, and we truly all come from different worlds.
Yeah.
And
if anyone has more information about like what's going on in Iran and other stuff, like, you know, feel free to drop below. Even if you are from Iran, anything, give your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, if you have access to this, because I know that they try to shut down Instagram,
social media,
and like WhatsApp.
Really? In Iran?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So that they can't communicate. It's really sad when you're getting the majority of the news like this from like TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
And we don't really watch the news, but nothing I'm taking in from other sources, they're not getting that from the news either. They're getting it from people in Iran pleading to them, or on the internet. I've seen a few videos of people in Iran like speaking about what's going on there, posting about what's like actual footage of what's happening. And
actually, my uncle's wife is from Iran, and we're gonna be spending a weekend with them.
Oh, they're coming in a few weeks.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to talk to her. I'm not gonna bring it up like super like quick, because it might be touchy subjects of what's going on over there for her. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I think you showing any type of like concern or interest is appreciated.
I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll give her like she'll feel like
she can talk.
Thank you. I have someone I could speak on this with.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Or it's someone who cares, because you know.
Yeah. It's easy. It's very easy for people who aren't ever in this. Yeah,
who are probably suffering right now.
She was just back over there recently.
Yeah. Like, that sucks. Like, it sucks when you come to a first world country and you don't feel safe to go back to visit even. Yeah. Like, I doubt she's gonna feel safe for a while going back there. Yeah. You know, and also like women who aren't protesting right now, like, I can't even imagine how you feel either. Like, you know, because there are people there who, like, they can't. Like, they have a family or whatever. I'm sure the people who are protesting also have family and stuff. I'm not putting that down, but I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking about, like, knock on wood, like, if I was in a situation like that, like, what would I do? I don't know. Yeah. You know, I would love to say I'd be out there protesting, but protesting here is not the same as protesting
in a certain place like that.
In a Islam country. Yeah. It's just not. Like, they have no remorse.
Yeah.
And it's fucking sad.
The government, I think, also gives the rights to the police to, like, really to be more violent, aggressive towards them. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can go on about this a little longer, but we are definitely not like people that are professional.
Yeah, we're just honestly we have a lot to learn about these situations and what's going on, but we're just mentioning it.
So if anyone has any more like sources, we'll link what we know down below. But if anyone has any updates, feel free to share, because we are interested in that type of stuff. And
that we are.
And all just if you know anyone in Iran, like hopefully they're safe, like whether it be family or friends or anything like that. Anyway, back to our video. This is part 2.
Yeah, of Americans living abroad. First time you realize America really messed you up. All right.
So many people stitch this video on. Should I scoot over?
Yeah. All right. And here we go.
Really messed you up.
It's not current, but when I was studying in the UK, one day I really needed to see a doctor. But I didn't know how to access care. I didn't know what my insurance situation was like, so I just went to work. And eventually I was in so much pain that I burst into tears, and my boss pulled me aside. And he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "I really need to see a doctor, but I don't know how to access care here. I don't know if I can afford it." And he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Go down the street to the hospital." And I argued with him. And he was like, "No, just trust me. Just go to the hospital." So I went, and I was like clutching my like student ID in my hand, my passport. And I was like trying to remember how much I had in my bank account, like checking. And I got called back to the doctor. He was like, "Yep, this is what's wrong with you. Pick up your prescription on the way out." And I was like, "I'm sorry, do you know how much it's going to be?" And he said, "I don't know, maybe 8 pounds. I was like, "I'm sorry, 8? He was like, "Yeah, I don't think it's ever more than that." The receptionist kept laughing at me because I didn't feel comfortable leaving without paying somebody. And I kept asking and asking if I owed anybody any money.
I feel like we would be like that too.
We'd be like, "Oh, they made a mistake."
Yeah, I know. Feeling like guilty. Yeah.
But yeah, I would totally be thinking they made a mistake or something. That's so sad though. Like she's over there just like, I'm sure anyone can, whether it's like going to the doctor or not, have been in a situation where like you need to require a service. And you're like, fuck, can I pay for this or not?
I know, you're checking your bank account. You're like, wait, how much do I have? And then you're just like, if they say it's more than this much, I'm not going to do it.
Dude, people be playing Russian roulette with their credit cards. I swear. I remember when we were in Oregon, I was saying to my cousin something like, "Oh, do you ever like, would you check your bank account? Do you have a set amount in your brain where you're like, okay, as long as I have that, I'll feel comfy. I'm fine." And she was like, "No, I don't even look at my bank. I'm like, oh, so you're rich." She's not at all. She just, she's risking it. Anyway.
She doesn't want it to stress her out. That's
I know. Yeah. Smart. But
currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize?
I am back for round 2 on this one. So I just moved to Italy with my boyfriend who is Italian. We're watching a movie the other day where somebody is running away and they get shot. And I'm like, you know what? That's their fault. They didn't run in a zigzag. That's like the first thing they teach you, to run in a zigzag if somebody's pointing a gun at you. He pauses the movie and he looks at me and he goes, "Who taught you that?" And I'm like, like teachers, adults, parents, like they teach you when you're young to run in a zigzag if somebody is pointing a gun at you. The sinking feeling I had when I realized that nobody ever had to teach him that when he was young, because that's not a problem here.
Oh man,
we shouldn't be laughing, but I'm laughing because it's true. We are told that.
She must be from like a southern state also, because I remember
you even told me this.
Yeah, in when we were younger, I think in school they would mention that, like, if there was a shooter, to like, just
they're like, every
don't
man
run
for
in
himself.
A straight line.
Don't run into me. That's all I care about. No, but I didn't realize that wasn't like common knowledge. I guess I don't know. If you guys have ever heard that, obviously some countries they don't have to worry about guns, but like
I know and then
like
certain ones
have you ever even heard that in general, like just in general?
Well, the thing, I think other countries do have their problems with a gun, nothing as big as us, like where you have to worry about it going to school and other stuff, like kids. But I think that criminals, they deal with weapons in other countries where they're banned also.
That's what I'm saying. Like, has anyone ever heard that in like a TV show or something? I just want to know. I truly thought that was common.
Well, imagine if it was like only, like you could only purchase weapons illegally here, like only.
I mean,
I feel like it'd be so much harder.
Like a criminal or something?
It would be so much harder for like kids to take guns to school, or like people to shoot up places.
You can literally buy guns online. You can go to Walmart in some states. Walmart.
Yeah, in Texas. You can do. You can't do that here?
No, we're in California.
Yeah, in Texas
Walmart
you can go. You just have to be like 18 or something.
Texas is another planet. I'm not even joking.
I'm currently living abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Oh, I've got a couple. So I'm from Los Angeles and now I live in Austria. And basically when I first started working here, they were like, you get 25 days vacation, Fridays off early, and if you're sick, don't come into work. And I was just like, I was floored. Because in the US, you only get 10 days vacation and like 5 sick days, and you don't get 5 days off early. You better work your ass until it's 9 p.m. On top of all of that, all my friends here have like 2 masters, 3 PhDs, etc., 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 because education here is actually free. Amazing. What an amazing concept. In addition, I have yet to see a large homeless community out in the open here in Austria because the government actually offers some social support. A lot of social support. In LA, you have villages, streets, blocks full of homeless people because our government doesn't care about us. And here, people like don't measure their worth off the car they drive.
Yeah. I mean, this was, I think, is the biggest thing. It's like the part she said about like a lot of the people having like masters and PhDs and stuff like that because it's actually like free, like the education.
Yeah.
Like that's so interesting. I'm pretty sure I would have at least studied multiple things if it was free.
We talk about this every now and then.
Yeah.
We always think like, okay, like if we didn't have to worry financially about our education or just like minimally, like a fair rate, what would we be doing? And but yeah, like what would we be doing and like how different our lives would be? Not that like our lives suck, because they do not. I love my life with you, but like sometimes I think like what would we
I think about that too. I know I would have probably like actually just studied specific things a little more, like just of like my interests and things like that.
Yeah.
But just because like I think the biggest thing for me was like I didn't want to go into a lot of debt for something that I wouldn't really even be happy learning.
Right. Or okay, so here's this thing. This is the idea I have. Okay. You don't have to agree with it if you're another American, okay? But I always felt that if you went to school for something and say you completed your degree in X, Y, and Z, right? You go into that field for a few months, a year, however long, and you're like, you know what? And you're paying off your loans as you're working. And you're like, you know what? I actually don't like this. This kind of sucks or blah, blah, blah. Like, it would be cool if you could trade your degree for not paying your loans back, if that makes sense.
I think a lot of people would do that.
Because I would have done that. I would have been like, take this fucking degree. Times have changed. I don't even need the degree that I have anymore to be in the field that I'm in. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She has a culinary degree.
Yeah. So when I went, I will just tell you, like my associates was $40,000. $40,000. And I think that's like, I'm not going to say cheaper. I just know that it's not the most expensive that it could be out here for the same exact degree. So
I could see that.
Yeah. But at the time when I got the degree, I was all about that life. Like I want to be a chef, like whatever. And I could not get a job in this field unless I had some type of education in it. And at least a good job. I'm not talking about like an entry level. Like I wanted something that like I was going to be learning and growing and blah, blah, blah. Now, and it's not even that many years later, it's not even a whole decade later, if I want to do something in that field, here, I don't need it. I just need to know the right people. I just need to network and that's it.
Yeah.
Networking can always get you farther in life. But like at that moment in time, I was young. I was stupid.
You
like
felt like
I didn't
you had to go the right way.
I love my parents, but like they aren't the greatest when it comes to guiding like their kids. So yeah, I don't know. I would totally trade that in and be like, give me the
so I can go into something or just study something else.
Yeah. And I know there's other people who would have traded their degree in.
Yeah, there would be a ton of people that do that, I bet.
Yeah.
Also what she was saying about like, cause since we're in LA, she was talking about like the homeless population here. Like there are like villages here of homeless people, depending where you go, even in nicer places that you wouldn't expect.
This would be a depressing video, but I have always had the idea to make like almost a montage of every like homeless alley.
Well, it's just so you could see the reality of it
that I've seen just in LA, because we know a lot of where the spots are. We know where to avoid. We know where they are. Like we just know what we're expecting when we're driving certain areas.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to like just from our car, just film like a montage. People can like see the reality of what it's like here.
Yeah.
Because I know people will see stuff on social media, but you're seeing one little pocket. You're not
especially
seeing
like influencers.
gravity.
They don't ever really show the reality of things from both sides.
Yeah, they show you.
They only show it like the
Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's its own little weird alternate reality. Yeah. When you go over there, you're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, here? Beverly Hills, that little like hub.
Rodeo Drive and all that shit.
It's another world when you step right outside there. It's like, yeah, the roads in general are trash compared to Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is like what people think all of Los Angeles looks like, but it's really just like this small little bubble, and that's it.
Yeah. It's not the reality. But yeah, I saw on the last video some people from Austria. You know, let us know some more tips, because Austria looks really interesting.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we shall continue.
One time that made you realize that America really messed you up.
So I'm from LA and I moved to Singapore. And before coming here, I asked all my friends if I should bring anything like, a pepper spray just in case anything happens. And they were like, no, that's like actually illegal. I don't think that they're allowed to have any kind of weapon. And I was like, what? We literally put them in our keychains as accessories. I was like, how do you defend yourself? They were like, from what? You don't have to. It's so safe. I was like, no way. So I Googled it, and no one is allowed to use greater force than necessary to defend themselves. What? The U.S. can't ban guns, but Singapore can ban pepper sprays?
Abroad, what is one time?
That's pretty wild. Oh, you're gonna show it? Yeah.
Like this is my keys.
That's pepper spray.
Brian got me that.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know. So she said on her, in the little parentheses, it said the last shooting in Singapore was in the 1940s.
With what? Like a musket? Like, what are they?
A musket.
I don't know.
You're talking about like the 1800s?
Whatever. Anything before like the 60s was like a century ago.
That's interesting though. That is interesting.
I didn't know that. That's actually really, yeah, it's interesting. It's cool, but like, is that working over there? Like,
I mean,
crimes.
I would think so. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really had anyone
great.
from Singapore. Or like, I don't think that many people from Asia comment. But
I always saw Singapore as like a place people stop at as like a layover.
Well, now they're actually trying to invite like really wealthy people over there. They're trying to turn it into like a super wealthy place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But isn't the like, whatever. This is off topic. Next.
Okay.
That's very interesting. I actually learned something.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up? I'll go.
When I had my first child, we were stationed overseas in Germany. And at that point, I'd been a nurse for about 5 years. And I had a C-section. So day 3, after I delivered, I was packing up my stuff and getting the baby ready to go home. And the German nurse walked in and looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm packing to go home." And she said, "Nein, you're not going home. You just had major surgery. We have physical therapy coming to see you. And dinner is on its way up. And if you'd like, I can call down and have them bring up some beer. But you need to rest."
Beer.
And I thought, yeah, I did have major surgery. I do need to rest. And they kept me for another week until I was ready to go home and I could take care of everything on my own.
If you're an
Wow.
That's wild.
You know, and also that I know it's not free. I get it. But also that like they really do, seems like they care.
Well, yeah, they see a C-section as you having surgery.
Yeah, and they're like, you need to like rest. You need to take care of yourself.
Or
here, I feel like it's more just like transaction. Like, all right, how are you gonna pay for this? How are you gonna pay for this?
You pump that baby out next.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Now you owe us $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, I know C-sections are a little more pricey. I've never obviously had one. I don't have kids.
Your mom had a C-section.
She had 3. Yeah, all 3 of us were
Oh,
C-sections.
damn.
But I also don't know like what the process is for like how long they're in the hospital for, like how
I don't know.
America views it. She's never really spoken about that. All she complained about was that it leaves a scar.
Yeah.
Because vanity reasons. And that's, yeah, I don't really know anyone other than my mom that has ever spoken about having a C-section. So I really don't know the logistics of that. I can't imagine they let them stay there more than a few days. I mean, my sister who had natural birth, she was in and out in like a couple of days, but then my niece was in the NICU, so that kind of was like,
oh yeah.
Like she left her hospital bed after like.
Huh. You should ask her how much that all came out to.
Well, I know insurance covered some of it. I can't. Sorry, guys. I am really congested.
I know. Now. I'm getting. Yeah, I feel it too a little bit.
Insurance covered some of it, but I don't know. I don't ask that stuff.
I know.
Unless
I know.
It sounds selfish, but like unless I need to know, like I'm like, hey, I'm pregnant. Knock on wood. Blah, blah, what am I looking towards? What's going? You know, like walk me through the game plan. Like I don't. Yeah. So I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Can't imagine it was cheap. That's for sure. But
well, especially if Bella was in the NICU.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. She was in there for like a month too. She was a preemie. My niece was a month early. So yeah, we spent that Halloween in the NICU, which was cute. But anyway, yeah, I should ask about the whole C-section thing. I'm not really sure, to be honest. But that is awesome that they were like, yo,
like, no, you got physical therapy. You want some beer?
Physical therapy? Yeah, right. You're not getting that out here.
Gotta go to you Germans out there.
They offered her beer.
I know, you Germans out there. We are beer lovers.
She said it's been 9 months.
What kind of beers are popular out there in Germany? Is it just like a lager type of thing, like or like what do you guys like?
The Hefes, are those the ones?
Hefeweizen? I think those are German.
Those are German?
I'm pretty sure.
Those are good.
Correct us if we're wrong. We're not saying
probably wrong.
Sure. Yeah, so just let us know.
Also, if our energy's down, you know why. Like,
sorry, I know. I'm trying. It's just, I'm a little.
We're trying, okay?
Yeah. All right, let's
continue. If you didn't notice, then just ignore that. Okay, go.
American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up? I'll go first.
I live in Warsaw, Poland now, but I always stay in touch with what's happening in the U.S., and I happened to hear about that Las Vegas shooting when someone opened fire on a bunch of concert goers, and it was very tragic news. But that day, I also went to the movies, so I was already in a kind of weird mental state, and when I left the movies, I got on the tram again in Warsaw, and I saw this guy kind of being sketchy and acting weird in the last seat. And I kept eyeing him the whole time, and he had his jacket open, and he was holding something inside. He was hiding it. And I thought, my first American thought was, it's a gun or a knife or some kind of weapon, and I need to move away as soon as possible. So I kept looking at him the whole ride, and then he takes it out, and it was a beer can. He was sipping it and hiding it during the tram ride. That's what happens in Poland. Not guns, not knives. And I started crying and laughing at the same time because that's when I realized, wow, that's messed up.
If you're an American...
Huh. It kind of caught me off guard that she was the one that did it.
Yeah. Usually they go, oh, go first. Okay, wait. What was she saying in the beginning about the
Stagecoach? That was Stagecoach.
It wasn't Stagecoach.
The one in Vegas?
It wasn't. That was Route 91 or something. That actually, I think the anniversary just passed for that.
Yeah, someone had. It was the one where they had an automatic weapon in the hotel.
Yeah,
right?
It was a country music festival.
I thought that was Stagecoach.
Stagecoach is in California. This was in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you guys are aware. If you're international, you may have not heard about this, but Las Vegas. Google it. It's like a place a lot of tourists go to, go to shows.
I'm sure they've heard
gamble.
of Vegas.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a hotel. I believe it was a Mandalay Bay hotel.
Oh yeah.
Where this dude walked into the hotel with firearms,
like automatic, like military weapons.
Didn't get stopped. Went to his hotel room. Somehow broke the window, which in Vegas they only allow I don't even think a whole 2-inch of access.
To
somehow broke the window, and just started shooting at the festival that was below him. Yeah. I'm not really sure how many people died. I forgot. This was a few years ago.
Yeah. It's so crazy to think about it though. In other countries, I guarantee, I don't know, but tell me your guys' experiences. When you go to concerts, I bet you the last thing on your mind is I hope there's not a mass shooter right now that could kill a lot of us.
Yeah.
In America here, you do kind of have to.
It's in the back of your head.
Yeah. I'll have it whenever we go public places and there's a lot of people. It always is in the back of my head.
You're
especially
being vigilant about
weapons.
Yes. And a lot of festivals over the last few years, and I want to say it was especially ever since this shooting, they don't allow bags that aren't see-through or
yeah, that's true.
They're either clear or they're mesh. You have to be able to see through them. And it rests assured to everyone around you that they know what's in your bag.
Yeah.
And
that's sad.
It's sad, but like that, it makes you think like, why wasn't that a rule before? But whatever. So yeah, super annoying. That is sad though, that she has to have like that in the back of her head.
I'm sure we would too.
No, totally. When we go to movie theaters, we're always thinking that.
Oh, because there has been a few times in the past where people brought weapons into the movie theaters.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's hard to tell if it's like an effect on the movie you're watching.
I don't know, because remember when we went to go see? Yeah, we went to go see. What movie did we see the other time? That was just us, and there was a guy like at the end of the aisle.
That was something different though. That wasn't like a shoot.
I know, but we also just got like weird vibes from him, and so we're like, fuck. And then if we see someone with like a backpack in the movies, we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like legitimately, there's been a couple times where the previews are going, or even before that, and you'll see someone walk in with a bag that's just a little too big to bring in the movie theater. And you'll just feel people staring at that person.
Well, you also feel like they're just feeling super uncomfortable and they're having their like defense mode turn on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like also like, don't go to the movie theater with a backpack. Come on. Come on.
There's no need for it.
I don't think there's a need for it.
Let's continue.
Just bring a fanny pack, or I don't know. Just bring something small.
American currently living abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really...
So I can make like 200 of these, but I'll just talk about the first time I realized how fucked up the U.S. is, which was in the first week that I got to Sweden, when my boyfriend's family told me that I need to make sure I get insured, and that I get insurance for everything I own, my laptop, my bike, my apartment, my whole body. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's so expensive. Like, I'm already super in debt with student loans, so no. But I asked out of curiosity just like how much it was going to cost. $100 a year to insure everything I have. For reference, like the average American person spends $456 a month.
Yeah.
Just on health insurance.
Yep.
Just for healthcare. Yeah. That doesn't include cars or home insurance. So.
American currently living abroad.
Wait,
$100 a year?
Wait, so
back that up in Sweden. Swedish people, back that up if that's true. That's crazy. Why do I
think Sweden was like way more expensive than here too? I know that they pay more in taxes.
Do they really though?
No, I'm pretty sure they do.
No, I know, but do they really when you take away the...
I don't know. I'm not gonna... I haven't done research specifically on Sweden, but I remember that couple we met in Bali, I think.
They're from Switzerland.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, oh my God. I'm really sorry, guys.
Switzerland is more expensive.
I was thinking Switzerland.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I have heard Switzerland is really beautiful though, and quality of life is nice gorgeous. Too. But yeah, I think it is more expensive. If you're from over there or you've been over there, let us know, and you can compare it to here.
$100 though, that's everything.
For a year?
I thought she was talking about like
everything.
I was just talking about like materialistic things. I didn't know she actually meant like that's wild.
Health,
shit.
Car, body.
Let's move to Sweden.
Damn.
That's super cheap.
Fabian's over there. Fabian lived in Sweden. He's from Sweden. It's so funny.
I'm okay.
Why? What? I knew this guy. He's from Sweden. I can't remember where exactly, but like when you first see him, he looks like he's tattooed everywhere, and like he just like and then when he's like the nicest, most sensitive guy.
Yeah, he's.
It's so funny.
Soft spoken.
No, nothing bad about that, but it's just like he looks way different, and it's just like. Yeah, but I think him being from Sweden too, there's things he says he doesn't like about it. And obviously when he came to LA, he loved it because it's something different.
Well, he was a lot younger then too. This was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's just coming, he's partying. Like,
yeah, he wasn't really like dealing with everyday life.
Yeah, to him it was like vacation mindset when he was here.
Yeah.
Which I get. Like I know if I wasn't from here, I'd come here and just like do all the cool stuff, and then
after that you'd be like, oh, yeah.
But anyway.
All right.
One time that made you realize that America really messed you up.
So I live in Paris, and 2 months ago I got hit by a taxi, relatively hard. I fell down on the street. All these people came. They picked me up. They brought me over to a bench. Someone from a restaurant brought me a glass of water. Another woman gave me a handful of coins. And I was like, I don't need your money. It's okay. And she was like, sweetheart, this is your money. It fell out of your pockets when you got hit by the taxi. And I was like, Sonic the Hedgehog vibes. Great. The man who hits me goes to call the ambulance. And I said, stop.
do not call the ambulance. That will cost me $3,000 to $5,000 because that's what an ambulance costs in America. And he was like, what are you talking about? An ambulance is €7.
They said pay for our gas.
Like, oh my God. Reminded to twist my ankle on the way home from the club. And they'll give me an IV so I won't be hungover the next day. Catch me at the hospital. This is lit.
If you're
she's funny. She's funny.
She was funny.
But yeah, that is crazy. But I've never taken an ambulance anywhere.
You know what's sad?
But you know why? Because a lot of times when I would get hurt, I used to skateboard. Like I used to want to be like a pro skateboarder when I was younger, and I would try some pretty intense stuff. And I think I broke my heel. I think I hurt some other stuff, but I just didn't go to the doctor because I was just like I didn't want to deal with it, and I didn't want to be a burden to like my mom to have to pay for shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll just deal with it. And then to this day, when it gets cold, my heel is just like dying. I'm just like, this shit hurts. And
How old are you?
I was like 14, 15.
That's my man.
Yeah. I remember one time I also I jumped from like a 2-story roof to the pool, and I missed.
Texas.
And that was one of the dumbest things I've done. And I heard my heel on my foot like crack, but I didn't go to the doctor.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That you're still here.
I'm gonna feel it probably in a few years.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Anyway, I know that was dumb. We grew up in like the American Jackass era.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So people I could see from around the world probably look at that and they're like, "You idiots! You deserve."
I'm sure there's idiots all over the world who have.
Yeah, there is. I've seen videos of people all over the world. Yeah.
But you also grew up in a place that was super like
small,
boring.
And we were like skateboarders, and we were just like doing stupid stuff. I mean, it was fun, but I did get hurt a lot.
I was too much of a chicken shit to do anything cool when I was that age. Anyway, yeah. I mean, we've heard the ambulance story many times because it's true.
Yeah,
Why
I would probably
so
deny to take an ambulance if I'm in America.
Yeah.
If I'm in America, I would deny it for sure. I'm not about to pay that, or I don't know. I don't want to go through the process of that.
It
was expensive kind of when I her niece was chasing me down some stairs, and I was running down the stairs, and there's like a little pillar, and my big toe caught like that and like pulled back, and so it like split down the middle.
He was running down the stairs and his foot hit the pillar,
and so
like
it split
the 90-degree.
Yeah, the webbing split on my pinky toe right here.
Yeah,
and I had to go to the hospital and everything. And they did initially, while I was like, my toe was open and everything, they were talking about payment first thing. They were talking about like, what insurance do you have? Can you cover this? And I'm just like, my fucking toe is coming off.
No. We went to the urgent care first and we're like,
yo, they're like, we can't do it here. Yeah.
And then we went to the ER and she's like, honey, no.
Yeah.
We're not even going to look at that thing.
And they had to glue it. They put glue, like this weird, like,
it's like stitching glue.
Medical glue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did that. And then it ended up costing like, after insurance and everything, I think it cost like $700 or $800. Yeah. All right.
To glue his toes.
To glue my toe back together. All right, let's go.
An American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America
So my first year here in Paris, I was an au pair, and I got really sick during the winter. It was bronchitis, and I couldn't breathe. I was coughing a lot. I was trying to avoid going to the emergency room as much as possible because in the US it's very, very expensive. But there was one night where I really couldn't hold out any longer. So I drove to the emergency room. And when I was there, they gave me a nebulizer. And then they wanted to give me chest x-rays. And I was like, listen, can we please not do the chest x-rays? I'm fine. Let's just go. And the doctor looked at me and she was like, why don't you want to do these? You have to do them. You could have damage. And I said, well, I don't have any money. I'm not going to be able to afford it. And she looked at me and she was like, it's covered with Social Security. So I was like, oh, okay. And then instead of having to book a whole another appointment and wait forever for the results, we walked down the hall. We took the chest x-rays. I had the results in 5 minutes. I paid €12 and then I was reimbursed 3 days later.
Wow.
I can currently
Damn.
Good for her. Yeah, if you have any type of bronchitis, you can't just like take meds and you have to get an x-ray and just to make sure, which isn't cheap.
I mean, I know this is like, it's funny because the health insurance thing is always like a big topic on all these videos, but I think it is one of the biggest things that differentiates like we're a first world country, yet we don't supply some type of care for our citizens. That's just like a basic.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
I mean, so is housing, and yet there's
housing. There's still like it. you still have capitalistic ideas with housing in other countries too. Like you have real estate and you have other. No, I know, but I'm saying like that's something that everyone makes profit off of everywhere.
That's the same with healthcare, though. It's they look at it as a bit. Everything's a business here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have the healthcare part than
totally.
housing.
But do you hear yourself? You shouldn't have to choose between having one or the other. You should.
I guess that's something that globally should be more adopted of like a housing type thing. Yeah. Because that's not really a thing globally for like. Maybe in some other. Actually, let us know. I don't know. In specific countries, what's the deal with like socialized housing and other stuff like that? I know LA is trying to do stuff like that.
We are trying. Let's see how that goes. My pessimistic brain always assumes that if politicians are trying to do something that's beneficial that actually makes sense, that there's a catch. What's the catch? And I hate that, but that's where my brain goes.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because most of the time that's what happens.
Yeah. Anyway.
Currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So I started my new job in the Netherlands. This was 3 years ago, and I was
this boy. Sorry, this boy is high. he's in the Netherlands. He's probably in Amsterdam, going to those coffee shops.
The first week, and I got to the section about leave, and they have a holiday leave like PTO, and then they had sick leave in 2 different areas. And I was reading about sick leave, and I turned to my coworker, and I was like, I don't understand. Like, it talks about like the requirements for sick leave and like doctor notes like after 3 days, but how many sick days do we get a year? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, how many are there? It doesn't say. She's like, it's just if you're sick, you're out. I'm like, I don't understand. She's like, it's unlimited. It's just if you're sick, you take a sick day. She was confused. I was shocked. There's a moment I realized we're fucked up in America and how we deal with people being sick with work.
Damn. That's wild. That's crazy to think about because, we do have a set number of sick days. So people will be like, fuck, I don't have any more sick days. I have to go exhaust my PTO or like stuff like that.
Is you don't start a job and you're handed sick days. You start a job.
Yeah, and you have to earn them.
After 90 days of being on the job, that's your probation period, is the first 3 months where they could fire you for the dumbest thing.
Yeah. So you could be really sick in that probation period. And if your boss is a dick and you're like, hey, like I'm throwing up or I have like stomach virus or something, like I need to go to the hospital, they could be a dick and be like, well, you're on probation.
Yeah, or they don't even have to necessarily say why they're letting you go. They can act like it was something else. They can not like a shirt you're wearing and fire you and not say that. They could just find a reason to fire you. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I think my point was and if you're part-time, you only get up to 3 sick days a year. That's it.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, sorry. Paid sick time. Otherwise
3 days.
Otherwise, it's up to them, like how that company specifically wants to handle it. And then if you're full-time at 6, again, it's after your probation period. Then you start accumulating. And then I forget the hours and the whatever the heck the schedule is, but however it starts accumulating. Like after the 3 months, once you're there for this much time after that, you accumulate 1 sick day. Yeah. Once you're there for this much more time, you accumulate 2. Or this many PTO or whatever the heck it is.
They do really, they make it like, it's not even the best ever, but they really do make it favorable for you to be like incentivized to go full time and just like give your entire self to the company.
They don't want you to be
partial.
This isn't everyone. This isn't every company, but I know a lot of them, they would rather sign you as a part-time and then give you like more hours in part-time just to not give you the benefits, because once you are full-time, you are not required, but they are required to offer you benefits that still come out of your paycheck, but you know the deal.
Because you gotta earn your keep, boy.
Okay, no.
All right, I'm just kidding.
I forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it.
Sorry.
And then also, like he mentioned, if you are sick more than 3 days in a row, you need to go to the doctor and have them write you a note proving that you were sick.
Oh yeah, we used to do that. We had
gotta get the receipts.
We had a friend who in high school, his dad is a dentist, and my friend would steal his his notes, and we.
Okay, we're not exposing your dad's friend, right? Or
It's my
your
dad's
dad.
friend.
Your
No, it's
friend's
not my
dad.
Whatever.
But that's illegal. Don't listen to him. Okay, next.
Wait, that's illegal? Oh shit! Wait. No way. I take it back. All right.
Allegedly.
Let's continue.
Abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really...
Yeah, so this one hit me pretty hard. It was one of the first dates I ever had in Germany with my boyfriend, and he wanted to take me on a nature walk. Well, it was a beautiful day, and we went on this beautiful trail, but it ended out leading up to somebody's field, like a farmer's field, and I absolutely wanted nothing to do with that. I said, nope, that's it, we're going home, I'm not doing that, and he kind of was persistent and saying, like, why? And I was like, are you crazy? They're gonna shoot us. I was pretty new to Germany, so I didn't really understand how things worked yet. But I did grow up in rural western New York, where if you trespass on somebody's property, their woods or their field, there's a good chance that you'd be shot and killed. My next door neighbors would get blackout drunk and then start shooting off their back porch into the random wilderness. And he stopped me and said, nobody shoots trespassers here, why would they do that? Even if they're trespassing, like, that's so overdramatic. And it hit me how normalized that was for me growing up, that I could potentially die going for a walk.
Currently living abroad.
God damn.
Yeah, I mean, no, especially in Texas, like
rural
areas. We would explore certain areas. Okay, so when we were like when we were younger, we would go to like the fields, and we learned how to do it though, and we picked like the wild mushrooms growing out of like cow shit, and we would we made sure that they were the right kind that you could ingest to like have a trip. And we would go and like go to the fields, but we would be afraid because this one time the guy did come out with his truck and a shotgun and was like chasing us, and we had to get out of there. It was a pretty
Here's the thing.
moment.
I don't condone trespassing. Like, don't go on other people's property, period.
We weren't hurting anyone.
It doesn't matter. It's still their property. Like, they're paying for it. Like, would you like it if someone came and opened the door to your car and just decided, I know it's technically not the same thing, but whatever. Does that mean that they should be outside with a shotgun ready to fire? No, but I think that it also goes to show that the person who owns a house is also fearing for their life, that someone could be trespassing too. You know,
he saw
like,
us.
what's your intentions?
I had a little chubby friend, and I was a little skinny kid. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
What were we gonna do? We weren't gonna do anything. No, but yeah, I get it. I get the trespassing. I don't think that's good. There was also one time in Texas, there was there was a camp in our town. It's like a haunted place.
Do you know what the camp's called?
Camp.
I feel like I've heard about this.
Fuck.
Because
we tried exploring there one night, and we got chased out with shotguns.
Okay.
Wait, camp. I'm gonna have to.
You think on that.
Yeah.
What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Here's a fun one. So I'm teaching 3rd grade in Thailand, right? And it's sports day. Kids running around, screaming, having fun, as kids do. And I hear a bang. Instantly, my heart drops into my stomach. My entire body tenses. My adrenaline starts pumping. And I'm looking around for the shooter. And then I realize I'm in Thailand. And people don't have guns, and they don't shoot children at their school. It was a balloon. A balloon popped. Fuck you, America.
American.
All right. No, I'm just kidding. The battery died, so I had to switch it out.
But yeah, that reminds me of the Thailand story.
Yeah.
When we heard firecrackers.
Honestly, where is there any? Come on, people from Thailand. Do they have access to YouTube and stuff?
Yeah,
I feel like they do.
I'm pretty sure.
Come on. We love y'all. No,
we want to move to Thailand.
Yeah. It just seems. Well, we've been to Phuket, to Phi Phi Islands.
Are you okay?
And
are you trying to hold in like a bird?
No.
You're like.
We've never been to Bangkok.
Bangkok, no. We didn't want to go to like a big city. We just kind of wanted to go to like. More
Phuket was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. People there were awesome.
I think we liked Thailand better than Bali, just because of like, no offense, look.
Bali was great too, but it's so close to Australia.
I've been to Australia, and I really like people like on Gold Coast, like Byron Bay, Brisbane, I mean, everywhere. I'm sure they're nice. But so I guess Bali is the closest part to this place in Australia called Darwin. And there was just a lot of like really rowdy.
I just saw it as
Australian people.
How Mexico is for most Americans, at least like, you know, SoCal, Texas. The way we go to Mexico on like a quick little getaway
it's
weekend.
It's like how they do it.
Is I think how some Australians go to Bali. It's like a quick little getaway because it's only a few hour flight.
Yeah. And Australians too, like of all the ones I've met, they're awesome. Except for those few in Bali from like that area that were like super just rowdy.
They were in party frat
rude,
boy mode. They were ready. And so Bali in general was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Everyone was nice.
Gili Islands were dope.
Gili Islands, I recommend. Why we're getting so off topic. The point you were trying to make though was that kind of was a vibe kill for our experience here and there. But overall, it was still a really good
It was,
trip.
Yeah, it was. But I think our hearts are set in Thailand.
They are, and I hate that we talk about that all the time, though, because I don't want to go back and be disappointed. You know when you put something on a pedestal for so long, and you're just like...
You think it might have, like, changed?
I don't know. Maybe, knock on wood, our next experience won't be as nice.
Nah, I'm not letting that get in my head.
You know what?
All right,
let's
continue.
You're right.
Currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So I grew up in southern Indiana, and I moved to London, England. So I just moved to England, and, you know, I made a lot of new friends.
Great hair.
So I go to a party, this was like 3 years ago. And let's say one of my friends he drank too much water. And, you know, all my friends were taking care of him, including myself. And all of a sudden, one of them goes, hey, we got to call an ambulance. And I was like, no, dude, like, do you know how much money that costs? Like, he just drank too much water. He's going to be fine. And right when I said that, everyone looked at me and said, mate, what are you talking about? And I was like, dude, the ambulance is going to cost like $3,000. And that was the moment I realized that England had free healthcare.
Americans currently living up.
Yes, I mean, yeah, we've heard that many times now.
It is crazy what us as Americans will withstand so much pain to not have to pay an excessive amount of money. But yeah,
he's not wrong.
It doesn't make sense. But yeah, you wanna?
Sorry, I lose my train of thought so quickly. Frick, what was I gonna say? I mean, yes, we've heard the ambulance thing numerous times already, but that's why I was going to say, this is why people need to travel, okay? If you have the means to travel, do it. Don't go to the same places you traveled many times. Go to other places, because you could tell he's young. He's probably like Gen Z. And it took for him to experience somewhere else to
see that something isn't right.
Not even just to know something isn't right, but just to be like, wait, what? I didn't know that about the UK. You know why? Because America doesn't tell us shit about other countries.
They don't tell us about the positives of the citizens of other places, like the positives they receive from their country.
Yeah, they don't educate us on how other countries have, you know, ways of life a little different.
Yeah,
that could possibly benefit us too.
Because then we would be like, well, why can't we have that here?
Exactly. So, you know.
Yeah.
Point being, if you have the means to travel somewhere new whenever you can, do it. Okay, that was
abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Hi. So I've been living in Spain for about 11 years, and this happened like 11 years ago. It was my first time going to the emergency room, and when, you know, stomach problems, whatever, couldn't stop throwing up. And I go in, give the girl at the front desk my ID and my debit card. And she takes my ID, checks me in, hands both cards back to me. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I give the debit card, I pay at the end. So I go in, everything, give me medicine, and I go back out. I stop at the front desk again, and I was like, hi, I'm leaving. Here's my debit card. And she just looks at me and she's like, I don't know why you keep giving this to me. You don't need to give me your debit card. I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, you don't have to pay for health services, even in a private hospital.
Damn.
Tell me you've been single a long time without telling me you've been single.
She's a better woman than me, because I would not have handed my debit card unless I was asked for it. I'd have been like, let's see if they're even going to ask.
I know, right? Just see like what we can get away with.
Yeah. Not get away with, but
I'm
like,
kidding.
I'm like that at our hospitals too. I'm like, maybe they won't ask for it.
It's like it's like one of the first things they ask when you get there. Literally, my toe is split open, and they're talking to me about like how I'm gonna pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. I felt like majority of those videos were kind of the same, or
yeah, it was pretty similar.
Roughly the same issues.
I think we're gonna tackle a different video next time, or just talk about something different. There was some really good suggestions from the previous videos on the comments. Yeah, again, saying thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. It's really crazy how many of you are subscribing that you actually like listening to us talk.
Again,
kind of weird to
apologies
think that,
apologies if this one wasn't as like,
yeah,
if we weren't on our A game today.
Yeah, sorry guys, we do feel a little like under the weather, but we're trying to
we want to get out this video
before
Friday, or by Friday. Like we don't want to have to like push it.
We've been setting a date and time for videos to come out Friday at noon. So put that notification on, the little bell. If you do that, subscribe,
so
like, comment.
Well, noon our time.
Yeah.
So we don't know when that's gonna be. Wherever you
noon,
are.
Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
American time. Oh yeah, Pacific time. Gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Time?
I didn't even.
Did you just say American time?
See, that's how you know I'm an American. Well, no. Okay, when you.
Well, we have Central Standard Time. We have Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Now I feel really stupid. But it's true. Like, I'll be like, I wonder what time it is here. And I'll look up the time it is there. I didn't even think for a second that if somebody is in, like, Italy and they're like, they have to look up, like, probably the state time. Right? They're not looking up.
I mean, I'm sure that certain countries over there have different time zones, too.
Yeah, you're probably right. This is a show so funny. You know what? I'm gonna shut up now before I dig myself a bigger hole.
But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this one, we appreciate it. I'm sorry if we didn't have like that much energy. I'm trying to power through this. I don't like feel sick, but like my throat is kind of hurting and stuff. But we appreciate you.
I feel sick.
Let us know any other topics and stuff. We're gonna look through all the comments. We're gonna make it a point to do that.
Yes.
It might just not be.
We read them, even if we're not responding to each of them. But we are reading them. We'll go through and like them all. I want to be on that level right now. Our dog is just passed out on the couch.
I kind of want to just like turn the camera on. We're gonna end it on a little clip of our dog.
Let's watch. He's gonna move as soon as you get up.
Hold on. Let's see.
Go slowly. Oh no, he's waking up.
Okay.
Hey, baby boy. He's like, what are they doing?
He's just a blob. All right. Say bye, Max. Say bye. All right. Max says goodbye.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us and watching us again. Move your fingers.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay. Goodbye. Wait, you ready?